Now on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early while it was still dark and saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." So Peter went out with the other disciple, and they were going toward the tomb. Both of them were running together, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. And stooping to look in, he saw the linen cloths lying there, but he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came following him, and he went into the tomb. He saw the linen cloths lying there, and the face cloth, which had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen cloths, but folded up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went in, and he saw and believed. For as yet they did not understand the scripture, that he must rise from the dead. Then the disciples went back to their own homes. Very early in the morning, John tells us, Mary Magdalene went to look at the tomb of Jesus. She was going there to help prepare once again his body for burial. We're here very early in the morning, just before sunrise on Easter Sunday morning, and we're remembering the story of that first Easter. It's interesting the detail that John gives us, that as Mary gets to the tomb and she sees that the stone is rolled away, she doesn't know what's going on. She goes to find the other disciples, and John, in his really interesting way of writing, tells us that Peter and the other disciple, now the other disciple is John, and John doesn't often refer to himself in the first person, but they go running to the tomb, and John tells us that Peter ran, but the other disciple ran faster and got to the tomb first. But John stopped when he got to the tomb. Maybe he too was confused about what was going on, and he stayed outside the tomb. But Peter went right in. And what Peter saw was an amazing thing. The linen cloths that had bound the body of Jesus were just laying there where Jesus was laid in the tomb. And then he saw the face cloth folded up neatly and laid there on the tomb. Finally, John goes in and he writes about himself here. He sees and believes, and yet doesn't believe fully, doesn't understand fully. He didn't yet remember what the scriptures had said, that Jesus was going to rise on the third day. As we stand here overlooking the city of Penticton this morning, the sun is just about to break over the mountains. Sunrise is on its way. The scriptures use a number of different images for the work that Jesus does. It talks about waking up from sleep and having our eyes opened. But maybe the most powerful image, and it's not really just an image at all, but it's actually the truth that the Bible uses to talk about the work that Jesus does, is to bring life from death. So often we think that the night is darkest just before the dawn, and maybe that's where we find ourselves even today, that just before the dawn, as the sun is about to come up, it feels pretty dark this day for a lot of different reasons. But Jesus calls us to life. The sun will rise with healing in its wings, we read in Malachi. Jesus brings life from death, and that's what Easter is all about. That's what we're celebrating this Easter morning once again. Jesus brings life from death. We who were dead in sin are alive. We have been made alive together with Christ by God Himself. Happy Easter to you all. One of my favorite Easter-themed songs, it's a song that we sing together in worship quite regularly, is a song that's been written in the last little while called Christ is Risen. And it helps us meditate on the victory that Jesus won over sin and death, and that He has called us to life from the death of our sin as well. I pray it's a blessing to you as we sing together this morning.
Christ is risen from the dead, trampling over death by death. Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave. Christ is risen from the dead, we are one with him again. Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave. We are one with